Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing good. So today I'm going to show you dependent drop downs in Vue. So dependent drop downs are basically, let's say if you have one drop down, if you will select in that and on change of that selection some other drop down will affect. So that is what dependent drop down is. So in today's video I'll show you country and state. Let's say if I'm selecting one country in a first drop down, then according to that country states will come of that particular country. So this is very generic one, so that I'll be showing you. So let's quickly start with today's video. So first I'm going to show you database. So here you can see one table I'm having is of states and second table is of I'm having countries. So here you can see ID, name of country and phone code is there, but I'll just be using name and ID. And states, according you can see states and country are related to country ID, and that's my view. Here you can see I just one example component. So here we will be first creating our form. So now let me show you quickly overview of code. So that's my example component where I'll be creating form. And here welcome.blade, you can see first I have defined Vue, that is app.js and app.css. So this is basically for bootstrap. You can see all those things, styling basically. And in app.js you can see I'm having my, like here create app is there. So basically here your app is created, that is Vue app. Now in below you can see we are having div id app, and here example component I am loading. So that's why in front end that view I have shown card is there, that it's an example component. So I'm just showing you how to start your server Vue and PHP. So for Vue you need to write npm run there, and for PHP, that is Laravel backend side. So here you need to write PHP artisan. So now let's start by creating our form. So let's go to example component, and here first I'll be writing one div. So I'll create a one row and then column 12. After that we need one drop down. So let's go to bootstrap and just copy from there, paste inside div column 12. Now let's go to Laravel, and here you can see drop down is there 1 2 3 4. So now let's change this according to our requirement. So just remove options. Now let's change the label for this. So let's say country. So now let's create another drop down for state. Change the label to state. And now let's go and see. You can see both drop down are now there. So now let's change option. So here write option value is blank, because first one we are going to have is select like country, and same for state also we need to change option value pass blank, select state. Now let's go and check. So there you can see now it's having select country and select state. So now list we will be getting from our backend side, that is Laravel. Dynamically we will be getting it. So for hitting our API, we need Axios, and before that we need our data variables to hold the values. So let's write data, and inside that write return, and we will be needing two arrays here, basically one for countries and one for states. So now we need our function. So we'll be calling that function in mounted. So let's write this dot country list. And now let's create this function. This function we will be creating inside methods. So write country list. And inside country list, we will be calling our Axios. So before that, we need to install that. So write npm I Axios. So now let's import Axios from Axios. Now let me show you backend side. I have already written like roots and controller function. So it's just that we have to call that root and get the data. So let me first open api.php, and here also you can see in web.php API directly welcome is loaded and API is allowed. So here in root you can see country list is your root that will be calling from Axios, and it's going to country controller index function. So let's go to controller. So here you can see controller, it says country all, as we are getting all our countries from database. And I'm just returning that list. So this one is our API. Let me show you country model as well. So there you can see it's a basic model, nothing much I have done here. So now Laravel, I'm just not showing you in deep, it's just for that API we will be getting our data. I'm more focused in view side, how to display and get the data of dependent dropdown. So now let's go and write our Axios. So in country list function, write Axios dot get request, it will be. So inside first parameter will be your URL. So here URL will be localhost and port that is currently my backend is running is 3001. You must define this in your env file, not here, is just a one API only, so that's why I'm just writing here. Then API and country list. So now let's handle the response, so that will be using then. And let's console this response. Let me just directly assign to variable only, that is countries. So write this dot countries equals to response dot data dot data, and then write catch if any error is there. So that also let's console. So now let's check in browser, refresh. So there is error in country list. Okay, sorry, my port is not 3001, it's 8001. That's my mistake. So now let's refresh, and now you can see country list. So let's go to response, and there you can see data is present of country list. So now this list we need to display in our drop down, that is first drop down country list, select country one. So for displaying list we need one more option, and here we will be using v4 directive, that is loop in view. So here write country in countries, that is your variable, and value will be your country, and also close the option and write country dot name, because name we will be displaying in our like options, and id we will be passing in our backend. So in text we will be passing country dot name, and here value we will be passing country dot id. And also here in view you need to give one different key to every like element. So for that we need index. So write key, and that we will be passing as index. Otherwise it will just give a warning in console, nothing more than that. So now, let's check in browser, and let's see country drop down. So there you can see all list we are having, and you can see in now. Let me just show you in elements also. So there you can see it's having value and name. So if I'll select anything, then state should come of that particular country. So now let's go and do that. Here we need at the rate change, because if let's say we are selecting any country, then it's changing its state, that is like this select variable. So here now at the rate change, let's call one function get state, and okay, I written outside, and let's create that in methods. So here let's write event, and let's get the value of that particular select drop down. So whichever like country we will be selecting, we will be getting its value in our country id. So now let's console country id. So now let's write Axios for getting all the states from backend. So I'm just going to copy same, and let's change root to state list. And also we need to pass one data, that is country id here. So let me create root in backend side. So write state list, and this will go to state controller. So let me show you state controller. So here you can see in index function one id we are getting, that is country id, and here you can see state model is used, and here where condition I'm passing country id, and I'm getting all the list of state of that particular country. And state model is also simple model, nothing much I have done there also. So now let's check and get the states of a country. So now in Axios, let's pass country ID, and here also you can see I have assigned to states variable response data. So whatever we will be getting states, we will be assigning to this states variable. And now let's pass this same in our routes also, state list, ID, and in controller we have already handled that. So now let's go and refresh. So in change of country, you can see it's hitting the API, and here you can see state list is coming in our response. So now we need to display our state list. So similar, we have shown country we will be using for state also. So here just change the variable. So it will be state, and instead of countries it will be states. And change value also state.id and state.name. So now let's go and check in browser. Select any country. Now let's select India, and the state you can see Manipur, Meghalaya, all these states are of particular India country only. So that's how you can implement dependent drop down into your project. So I hope you like this video. That's all in this video. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you have any doubt related to this topic, then you can comment down in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching.